Okay, so like, have you ever looked up at the stars and felt, I don't know, like there's something more going on? Like there's this kind of like cosmic energy that's influencing us, maybe even shaping our lives?
Yeah, and then you dive into astrology and you find all these horoscopes and sun sign stuff, and it's kind of fun, but like a part of you feels there's got to be something deeper, right?
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today, this idea of spiritual weather. Like there's this cosmic energy flowing around us, and astrological archetypes, as described in the Law of One, act as this amazing map to understand it all.
Exactly. And if you're familiar with the Law of One, these readings came from Ra, this like super advanced extraterrestrial being channeled back in the 80s.
Right. And even though Ra didn't like invent astrology, they definitely saw it as a powerful tool, even calling it a constructed and organized distortion of the archetypical mind.
Which sounds kind of complex, right? But basically, they're saying it's a system created by humans, so it's not perfect, but it's still super useful for understanding ourselves.
Okay, so for this deep dive, our mission is to explore how the Law of One, through Ra's words, uses astrology to kind of decode the weather map of our soul's journey. Like, what are the major influences affecting us spiritually, and how can we understand them?
Exactly. And the key to this whole thing is the concept of the archetypical mind. So imagine this. Deep down, beneath all our individual thoughts and experiences, there's this fundamental structure, this blueprint of consciousness that we all share.
Oh, that's so cool, like a universal operating system or something.
Yeah, kinda. And the cool thing is Rap points us to specific symbolic systems that can help us understand this blueprint. They talk about the tarot with its 22 major arcana, and of course astrology with its 12 zodiac signs and those 10 planetary influences. And they also mention the tree of life, this like super intricate map from Jewish mysticism.
Wow. Okay, so we've got tarot cards, planets, and mystical trees. That's a lot to wrap your head around. So basically, the takeaway here is that understanding these archetypes is crucial for self awareness.
Right. But here's the catch, and Ra really stresses this. These systems aren't meant for fortune telling. Like, they're not going to tell you if you're going to win the lottery or meet your soulmate next week.
Oh, I see. So ditch the daily horoscope.
Exactly. Instead, Ra says we should use them as mirrors of consciousness, like tools for introspection, to understand the deeper patterns at play within ourselves.
So instead of looking outward for predictions, we use these systems to kind of look inward and have this deeper conversation with ourselves. But with three different systems, where do we even begin?
Well, Ra suggests picking one system and really diving deep into it. And since we're talking about astrology today, that seems like a good place to start.
Right. Focus on one, really get to know it, and that helps you understand the bigger picture of the archetypical mind.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting. Ra says we have to move beyond the written interpretations.
You mean like the typical meanings you find in astrology books or online?
Exactly. Those are good starting points. But Ra encourages us to develop our own personal understanding of these archetypes.
So it's more about how these symbols resonate with you personally, right? Like maybe your experience of Venus is totally different from what a book says.
Exactly. That's where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
And then, to explain how these cosmic energies actually affect us, Ra uses this amazing analogy. They compare it to the moon influencing the tides.
Hmm.
It's not about control, but more like a subtle, persistent influence.
Oh, I like that. So it's like these energies are kind of pulling and pushing us in different directions, but not forcing us.
Right. And Ra directly connects this to our own nature, saying, your own nature is water, easily impressed and moved. So, think about how sensitive we are to the moods of people around us, the energy of different environments.
So we're constantly being moved by all these subtle influences.
Exactly. But here's the really important part. Being moved isn't the same as being controlled. Ra's super clear that this is a catalyst, not destiny.
Oh, okay. So our free will is still in play.
Absolutely. Our spiritual journey is about learning how to navigate these influences, to choose how we respond. It's like instead of feeling helpless against the waves, we learn to surf.
I love that analogy. It's empowering, right? We're not just puppets of the cosmos.
Exactly. And that's how astrology transforms from predicting events to revealing the energetic landscape of our soul's journey. It's like a weather map, showing us the potential storms and sunny days ahead.
Okay, so now when we look at a birth chart, we're not just reading like, oh, you're a Scorpio, so you're going to be intense. It's more about understanding the energetic blueprint we were born into.
Right. And we have to be careful not to get too hung up on specific planetary associations. Like we often hear Mars is about aggression, Venus is about love, but Ra cautions against oversimplifying.
Yeah, that can feel limiting, right? Like reducing this whole complex system to just a few keywords.
Exactly. Ra emphasizes that the archetypes are things in themselves. They have this fundamental essence that we need to understand before we even consider how they might play out in our lives.
So instead of just saying Mars makes you act aggressively, we need to ask, what is the archetype of Mars at its core? What's that pure energy that it
Uh,
represents?
right. And then we can start to see how that energy manifests in different ways in our lives.
Yeah.
It's like maybe the core essence of Mars is about drive and action. And that can show up as aggression, but it can also show up as passion, ambition, courage.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It's like each archetype is this multifaceted jewel, and the planets are just different ways that light shines through it.
Exactly. And Ra reminds us that the goal isn't to predict the future, but to attune ourselves to these archetypal energies.
To kind of tap into that cosmic symphony and find our place in it.
Yes. And when it comes to choosing a system to study, Ra uses this beautiful metaphor, the pull of the magnet.
So we're drawn to the system that resonates most deeply with us.
Right. And that might be astrology, it might be tarot, it might be the tree of life. The key is to explore and see what calls to you.
So try different things and see what feels, I don't know, right?
Exactly. And once you've found that system, really dive deep.
Yeah.
But the journey doesn't end with book knowledge. Ra emphasizes moving beyond the written.
So taking what we learn and making it our own.
Yes, that's where true understanding comes from. Like, you might study the traditional meanings of Mars, but then you have to go further and explore how that energy actually feels and expresses itself in your life.
Now let's talk about a really pivotal moment in our soul's journey, the moment we're born.
Right. Ra describes birth as this significant intersection, deeply influenced by cosmic rhythms. They say we're born under a series of influences. Lunar, planetary, cosmic, and even karmic in some cases.
Oh, wow. So it's like our birth chart is a snapshot of the cosmic weather at that exact moment.
Exactly. And Ra even talks about how this moment initiates spiritual cycles within us, like the Adept's 18-day cycle.
Okay, so like real cycles that can affect our spiritual practices.
Right. But again, it's important to remember that our birth chart isn't destiny.
So it's not a fixed script that we have to follow?
No. It's more like a starting point. Like, imagine a sailor setting out on a voyage. They check the weather report before they leave, right?
To see what conditions they might encounter.
Exactly. But that doesn't determine the entire journey. They still have to navigate the winds and waves, make decisions, and adjust their course along the way.
That's a great analogy. So our birth chart gives us some clues about the energetic landscape we're born into, the potential challenges and opportunities we might face.
Right. And Ross suggests that as we become more spiritually mature, as we become more balanced, we actually become less dependent on these external cycles. Like the adept who's really mastered their inner world is less swayed by the outer cosmic winds.
Oh, that's so cool. It's like we're not just at the mercy of the weather anymore. We can kind of create our own inner climate.
Exactly. And here's a little bonus nugget from Ra. They mentioned that beyond those planetary influences, a really sensitive person can also pick up on galactic and stellar influences.
Whoa, like energy's coming from way beyond our solar system.
Right. Which really expands the whole concept of the birth chart and shows just how vast and multi-layered this cosmic influence can be. Now, to really dive into the heart of the archetypal realm, Ra points to Arcanum number 22 of the tarot, known as the Choice. This one's super significant.
Like more than just one card in a deck.
Absolutely. This archetype represents a fundamental aspect of third density, which is the level of consciousness we're currently experiencing on Earth.
Okay, so it's connected to the human experience specifically.
Yes, and Ra's super clear about this, saying the third density is a choice. And this choice, symbolized by Arcanum 22, is the core decision we all face. Do we polarize toward service to others, which is rooted in love, or service to self, which is all about control?
Oh, wow. That's huge. So this choice is woven into the very fabric of our reality.
Exactly. And while our birth chart doesn't determine which path we choose, it shows us the stage on which this choice is acted out. It gives us the context, the inherent energies and tendencies that shape how we navigate this decision.
It's like the backdrop for the play of our lives.
Right. And we have to remember the veil of forgetting that Ra talks about. In third density, we kind of forget our true nature and our connection to the source. And that creates confusion and polarity, which ultimately leads to the opportunity for this choice.
Oh, so the veil is actually what sets up the whole drama.
Exactly. It's like without the veil, there would be no choice to make. Ra also highlights another key archetype in this process, Arcanum number 6, often called the Lovers. This one symbolizes the transformation of mind, and it's the point where we consciously choose between light and darkness within our thoughts and beliefs.
So, like, making conscious choices about what we focus on, what we believe in, and that kind of sets the stage for the bigger choice of polarity.
Right. And here's a concept that might seem a bit paradoxical. Ra says that both positive and negative adepts use the same set of spiritual tools.
So it's not about the tools themselves, but how you use them.
Exactly. What separates the positive adept from the negative is their underlying intention.
Oh, I see. So it's about the energy behind the action, the motivation driving it.
Right. Ra defines the adept as someone who's gone beyond basic spiritual awareness and is now tapping into intelligent energy and intelligent infinity. And at this level, the ability to work with energy is amplified.
So it's like they have a lot more power at their disposal.
Exactly. And they give a great example. Visualization. A positive adept might use visualization to raise positive energy for the benefit of others.
Like sending healing energy to someone who's sick.
Yes. While a negative adept might use the same technique to manipulate others for their own gain.
Oh, wow. So it's the same tool, but the intention completely changes the outcome.
Exactly. And this really highlights the neutrality of spiritual tools. Ra makes it clear that polarity, this tension between service to others and service to self, is actually essential for spiritual growth.
Oh, interesting. So it's like without that tension, there's no movement, no evolution.
Right. And that neutrality extends to the 22 archetypes themselves. They're not inherently good or bad. It's all about how the adept chooses to work with them.
So even an archetype that seems kind of dark or negative can be used for good.
Exactly. And Ra gives a really cool metaphor to illustrate this. They say the positive path is radiant, emanating energy outward, while the negative path is absorbent, pulling energy inward.
Oh, that's a great visual. So it's like the positive adept is a sun, radiating light and warmth, and the negative adept is a black hole, sucking everything in.
Exactly. And think about how this could play out with astrology. A positive adept might work with the energy of, say, Mars to cultivate courage and take action for the benefit of others.
Like becoming a fearless advocate for a good cause.
Right. While a negative adept might use that same Martian energy to dominate and control others.
No, that's kind of scary.
It is. But it just shows the power of intention and how it can totally shift the expression of these archetypal energies. Now, finally, Ra presents a really advanced concept. The adept not just understanding the archetypes, but actually embodying them.
Whoa, so like literally becoming the archetype.
Right. It's about moving beyond intellectual knowledge and experiencing these energies directly.
That sounds intense.
It is. Ra calls this the magical personality, and it's essentially the deep mind expressing itself through the adept. It's like they become a living conduit for these archetypal energies.
Wow, so instead of just reading the weather map, they become the weather.
You could say that. And Ra describes archetypes as concept complexes with interconnected root atoms of organizational being.
Yeah.
It's not just about understanding the individual parts, but grasping the unified essence and then allowing that to flow through you.
Okay, so it's like each archetype is this complex tapestry, and the adept learns to weave that tapestry within themselves.
Exactly. And we see this in traditional esoteric teachings, like the wand representing will, the cup representing receptivity. The adept who embodies these archetypes doesn't just understand them intellectually, they become them. And that gives them a profound level of mastery.
Oh, that's so cool. It's like they're not just playing the instrument anymore, they've become the music.
Yes. And according to Ra, this level of embodiment is deeply connected to the adept's contact with intelligent infinity. It's through this living synthesis, this merging with the archetypal energies, that they achieve true spiritual mastery.
And that's something we can all aspire to, right? Like, even though we may not be adepts yet, we can still work towards embodying these energies in our own lives.
Absolutely. It's a journey, and we're all on it. So to wrap up this deep dive into astrological archetypes, let's remember the key message. Astrology, as seen through the lens of the Law of One, isn't about predicting your future, but about revealing the deeper energetic patterns that shape your journey.
And understanding these archetypes gives us incredible insights into ourselves and the nature of consciousness. It's like this amazing map that helps us navigate the inner landscape of our soul.
So we encourage you to explore these archetypes to see which ones resonate with you, which ones call to you.
Yeah, like what feels like that magnetic pole that Ra talked about.
Exactly. And then see how these energies play out in your life. Don't just read about them. Experience them. Embody them.
And maybe the journey isn't just about understanding star signs, but about discovering your own inner soul signs, those unique ways that the archetypes manifest within you.
Yes. It's a shift from looking outwards to looking inwards, from studying systems to realizing the living archetypes that reside within us all.
From star signs to soul signs, from tarot to truth, from system to self.
The archetype is you,